Are you getting ready for the Praxis English to Speakers of Other Languages exam? That's exam code 5362. My name is Jamie. I'm an educator and test prep expert with study.com. And in this video, we'll walk you through 4 sample problems from this exam so that you're confident on test day. Ready? Let's jump in. Let's go ahead and look at the first problem. The sentence below contains which of the following errors? Dolphins often live in pods with other dolphins. They can often be found riding the waves created by boats. Our first answer choice is spelling, so I'm going to say that's probably not our answer. A run-on sentence. This typically happens when a sentence keeps going on and on and on without any commas or punctuation. I see a comma here, and it's not going on and on, so I would say that's probably not our correct answer choice. A subject-verb agreement. This happens when the subject doesn't match the verb. For example, you could say, 2 dogs has a bone. That doesn't make any sense. You would say something like, 2 dogs have a bone. So we can see that the subject matches the verb. I'm not seeing any examples of that, so that's probably not our answer either. Now, a comma splice. This happens when 2 or more independent clauses have been improperly joined with a comma without using any sort of conjunction such as and, for, but, yet, so. Those are examples of conjunctions. Now we see the comma here, and it doesn't seem like it has any sort of conjunction. So I would say that this, the comma splice, is our correct answer choice. Problem number 2. First, however, she waited for a few minutes to see if she was going to shrink any further. She felt a little nervous about this. For it might end, you know, said Alice to herself, in my going out altogether like a candle. I wonder what I should be like then. And she tried to fancy what the flame of a candle is like after the candle is blown out, for she could not remember ever having seen such a thing. Which of the following best describes the genre of the passage? Now, first we have fantasy. Now remember, fantasy has imaginative elements such as made-up creatures, made-up lands, or maybe something weird is happening to one of the characters. For example, Alice here is shrinking, which is not really something that is likely to happen in real life, making fantasy a pretty solid answer choice. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a star next to it, but we're going to keep going just in case there's anything better. Here we have nonfiction. Fiction meaning not real. So when it's nonfiction, that means it is something that's real, usually something that's informative. This doesn't really seem like it's giving us any sort of information, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably not the correct answer. Historical fiction, something that's not real, but it takes place during an historical time period. Well, it doesn't really specify. I wouldn't say that it's right, but we have no evidence that it's wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and put a question mark next to it. Realistic fiction. Once again, something that is made up, but it's something that is potentially possible to happen. With Alice shrinking, I'm going to say it's probably not realistic fiction. I don't think that's something that can happen in real life. So we're going to look at our 2 answer choices. We have fantasy and historical fiction. And fantasy is definitely the better answer choice. So that's probably our answer. Problem 3, we're using the same passage that we just read. Which of the following best describes the literary device used in the passage? A metaphor. Now, a metaphor compares one thing to something else without using the words like or as. It's usually saying something is something. So instead of saying, her heart is like gold, you would say, her heart is gold. I'm not seeing any examples of metaphors here, so I'm going to go ahead and cross that out. Now, a simile compares one thing to something else while using the words like or as, and I do see an example of a simile right here where Alice is talking about her shrinking and comparing it to going out like a candle. So simile is a great possible answer choice. Again, we're just going to keep reading just in case. Personification. This is when you take an inanimate object and give it human-like qualities. Now, even though we're talking about her going out like a candle, we're not really bringing the candle to life. So personification, we're not really seeing any examples of that either. Alliteration is when you have a bunch of words in one spot or close to each other that start with the same sound, like Sally sold seashells by the seashore. I couldn't say it. But that is an example of alliteration, and I'm not really seeing any examples of that here either. So our best answer choice is definitely going to be a simile. Our fourth and final problem: which of the following sentences from the passage contains a capitalization error? There were over 40 species of dolphins, and while each species may have its own distinct attributes, all dolphins share a few common characteristics. Well, let's see, that's capitalized. I'm not really seeing anything in here that should or should not be capitalized, so I'm going to say that's the incorrect answer. Dolphins often live in pods with other dolphins, and they can often be found riding the waves created by boats. I'm not really seeing anything in that one either. Dolphins are members of the Delphinidae family and are found in waters across the globe. Now here, Delphinidae family, especially Delphinidae here. This is an example of a proper noun, something that is like specific, like a person, place, or a thing. This is a specific thing. Delphinidae should be capitalized. Should be a capital D here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a star next to it because it's probably the correct answer. Again, I'm just going to keep reading. Dolphins are known for being intelligent, social, and playful creatures. Yeah, I definitely think that this one is our answer choice. I hope this was helpful. If you are looking for more ways to study, check out our other videos. And then also make your way over to study.com to check out our Praxis test prep courses. As a study.com member, you'll get full access to hundreds of practice problems like the ones I just walked you through, plus targeted instruction for any topics that you are still struggling with, as well as test strategies to help you maximize your score on test day. Finally, we want to hear from you. Please like and subscribe if today's video was helpful, and then let us know down below in the comments if there are any specific topics that you want us to cover next. Good luck and happy studying.